When I was really young, I used to think sustainability was about being frugal, something that my mother taught me when I was quite young. But now I feel that sustainability is actually about an interconnection or a symbiosis between people. And it's the way that we create a form of humanity amongst ourselves that can help one another to help the world become more of a durable place. If we're all consuming at some ridiculous rate that the Chinese are, consuming products and consuming goods like the typical American dream, then that's not going to be sustainable for all of us, especially with 1.2 billion people in India becoming richer and richer. So I feel that sustainability has changed its role, not just from being frugal, but also becoming a sort of a life science, a lifestyle. I believe that media, or new media, social media, is going to be a key role in the way that we can organize ourselves. I also feel that new media will create a whole new dynamic of an earned media, democratic media, which will allow all the regular people, all individuals and communities to come together for a current cause. That's how I feel that new media, just in the light of Black Road, could have just brought people together. And that need for society to come and connect is there present. It's just a form of expressing yourself. The role of the individual within society has changed because they're realizing we're no longer islands. We're no longer single units. We're an interconnected system. And that system, we can't live without one another, just like we can't segregate ourselves in concrete blocks from the environment in the same way that we can't segregate ourselves from humanity and human nature. That's how I feel that we are part of a whole. By far, one of the most significant experiences was our first ever job with Kansara Hackney, which was judging a competition at the Saudi American Bank in Saudi Arabia, Riyadh. We were a group of about 7 judges, and the combination of getting to Riyadh as a single woman under the age of 40 was quite the challenge in itself. And then from there, being the only female inside the building for about a week was also quite traumatic. And then finally, what that led to was a completely different experience. And the changes that occurred within that one role, one job, was fantastic to see, because that's where you really got to see how people, when they come together and they challenge something, just like how you would create a building, what can make it sustainable, what can make it good for people, because ultimately we just want well-being. We want to live in a nice way within an environment that we can communicate with one another in. And if that's just a basic need, can we not provide that to people? So it made me realize how simple sustainability can be, even though you can have the gadgets that you want in the world. And this is one of the judges that one of the 3 schemes that we then assessed at the end. Rod and I in Kansara Hackney then awarded Foster and Partners with our recommendations to the board of directors at Saudi American Bank. And when we went to interview Foster and Partners in their office, we realized that they had a whole poster on Masdar City. And I wanted to know how you could create a whole new lifestyle inside a desert environment, which is so incompatible to the way that we can live in a normal environment. But the truth is that there's a huge performance gap between the building and people who live inside buildings. The performance gap lies because you've got the technology that you've created that is almost different systems that you put together and hope for the best that they will communicate with one another. And at the same time, we have all of our own preconditioning. So from a person who is preconditioned to live in the States to somebody who lives in India, we all have a different form of thermal comfort. And we just want to be comfortable in an environment that can allow us to do our regular work. So what it taught me was that one significant job could lead serendipitously to another 5 or 6, and it could almost become the reason for living, because now I feel that I found one thing that I would love to do, and that is to understand how people will live in the future.